Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. So let's talk about Lexi. Lexi is probably the most powerful aggro deck in the format right now, in my opinion. She has a lot of good on-hit effects. All of her cards are very on-rate. Like, she just does a lot of very strong, powerful things. Now, Lexi has some downsides, you know, just like anything else, but I just think she's very powerful, and she's probably at the top of my list of decks that I'm testing for Nationals. Playing the mirror is very interesting and very intricate. I don't have enough experience in the mirror, so if I do decide to play Lexi for Nationals, there's going to be a lot of more, testing for the mirror practice, so I can have that figured out. But Lexi's a lot of fun and a really cool hero in general, and I'm enjoying getting to learn more about her. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the video. Shoo, we could try to set up the old Rain Razors. Like I think setting up Rain Razors 3 of a kind is pretty good here. So let's pitch Searing Shot. I'm going to load Endless Arrow with Go again. And then I'm just going to pass and see what my opponent does. If my opponent goes to load cards here, we might just try to go crazy. So if I pass here... If I pass here, my opponent just kind of gets the value. I could go... I guess I'm not getting a ton of value out of like trying to go ham here on turn 0, so I think it's still better just to pass. If they load another card, we'll go for it. I was like, if they load another card, then we'll get them. So I can block Infecting Shot here. Although... yeah, I guess we'll pitch the Infecting Shot here. They're on yellow Winter's Bite, which is interesting. I wonder if they drew that or if they had that. Because if they had that, we could have just crammed the Endless Arrow down their throat with the Rain Razors and it wouldn't have mattered. Interesting. So, play Rain Razors, pitch the blue. Or I guess I could just play 3 of a kind here. I guess we can just pitch all of our cards to play 3 of a kind. I think that's what we're going to do. That was weird. There's like a lot of lag there. I don't know if Talashar's been having issues lately or what the deal is here. Hey, what's going on, Ben? How are you, brother? And yes, sir, Lexi gameplay. So let's play Rain Razors. I guess. So I can pitch Codex to load Infecting Shot. And then throw it, and I think I'm better off just arsenaling the Codex of Frailty here. I could go for another arrow. I used to use a Lexi deck in the high school chess club. Well, I bet you were pretty good in chess if you were playing Lexi. So Bolton Shot for +1. We're giving +1 because of the Rain Razors here. I would like to clarify is the only reason why I'm okay doing that. There's nothing to reload. And then we're going to come in for 6 here. And I'm curious to see if they decide to let this hit or not. They just take 6. Interesting. So I've already used Lexi once this turn. So I can load Endless Arrow for +1. I mean, I'm gonna ask my opponent to undo because, like, we clicked here and went too far. Yo, Diablo, what's going on, brother? Appreciate the follow, man. I appreciate you making a kick just for me. Isn't Diablo so sweet? Okay, well, apparently my opponent woke up and was in a pissy mood today. Oh, my Endless Arrow... my Endless Arrow didn't have go again. That's why it doesn't matter. Never mind. And then we'll... Okay, what is going on with Talishar tonight? Alright, so we'll Arsenal this. This just feels like block a bunch here. Just for you, remind me to tell you the story about it later. I can't wait to hear about it. I'm already excited. So they have Rain Razors 3 of a kind now to follow up. So, but we can block 12. And then after blocking 12, we get to play Codex of Frailty. And then throw Infecting Shot. So it turns our 5-card hand into essentially 18 points. So... hit an arrow. Yeah, we hit an arrow and dealt the damage to him. Yep, Snapdragons was pretty much inevitable. So they're going to have a 3, maybe 4 arrow hand if they have enough blues to activate their quiver and it hits. Yeah, I don't change the wins counter for Flesh and Blood, but if I did, it would be sad how little I changed it. Oh, that's funny. So it's going to be for 6. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and block 6 here. Like, I'm not super worried about whatever they're going to throw. The Infecting Shot that could be for 7 here would be pretty bad for me, but... like, if they throw something like an Infecting Shot, that would be bad. Sleep Dart. Oh, okay, Bolton Shot's pretty cool. So they were baiting me out here. You only play games 2 games during a 4-hour stream? Well, it's not quite that bad. I wouldn't say that I played 2 games during a 4-hour stream. Normally, so with this deck tonight, I expect to get like 7 or 8 in between like now and 10 o'clock, if not a little bit earlier. So, but it's kind of what I'm expecting is 7 or 8 games. So, or like 7 or 8 tonight. Lutiful. I like that name. I am definitely doing a giveaway. I appreciate you pointing that out. So we get to load and then throw Infecting Shot. I guess we could do Fatigue Shot if we wanted to. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that Infecting Shot's probably just better. It's more damage, and we're already up in the life total race. And if we hit, we know that our top card's a yellow Bolton Shot, so I feel pretty comfortable arsenaling our last card. Maybe my opponent has another 3 of a kind they drew, so they're not going to care to block my Infecting Shot here. I mean, if they do, it is what it is. So, yeah, Diablo, the only reason I was getting like 2 games in, like I was getting about like 4 games in over the course of like 4 hours, and like that was just because of the hero I was playing. It's just the like what he does. So again, this is gonna be a block 12 hand. Like, this hand just screams block 12. There's no blues. We've also seen 2 hands in a row with no blues, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty intriguing to me, honestly. I think that's, like, with 16 blues in our deck, that's pretty bad. So, honestly, right now, the plan is... Well, now the plan is just to block 12 and pass. I was going to say I'm going to block 12 and flip Lexi, show the Bolton Shot, then throw the Endless Arrow so that I can attempt to have a 6-card hand again. But with the Arctic Incarceration, we're just going to block 6. So this is with Go again. I feel like I could just take 2 here. But that seems silly. These are also all 1-cost arrows, which is, like, really weird. I think I'm just going to block this out, save some life. Like, let's just play it safe. The Frailty token's protecting us a little bit here, so... I'm hoping that my opponent just wastes their Arctic Incarceration here. Okay, so if they give this +1, which they did... Ooh, and a Premeditate. So this is going to be for 9. Oh, now you want to undo your last action. How convenient that you did not give me the same opportunity. I'm better than that, so I'm not going to just, like, dick my opponent right here. You can't undo any further than that without starting over the turn, bud. So we are going to start the turnover. Yep. Like, as long as my opponent plays the turn out the same way, I'm okay with that. My problem that I run into is when my opponents start, like, doing things differently. Like, now I understand that, like, they want to take this back as, like, a way to, like, test the game and, like, do different things. But if it's things that, like, are just clearly outside of what they would have had prior knowledge to the point that they played through the turn, that's where I draw a line. Like, that's where I have a hard, like, problem with people. Normally, I don't give takebacks after cards are drawn, even in person with friends. So, I like to do it because, honestly, I'm a big believer in I want to play the best games possible. Like, I want to play the best games that I can. And if that means giving my opponent a take back, then I'm okay with that. I'm a firm believer that the only way you learn is by playing your best game. Now, like, if I'm playing at an RTN or, like, at a ProQuest, nah, bro, you get no takebacks at all. Like, that's competitive. Like, that's high level. Like, that's what we're looking for. What did he pick here? Obviously, so I guess he said go again here. He said go again, I bet, in the idea that he thought I wasn't going to block. Like, that I was keeping my cards to try and play my hand. But now he's just going to take if my opponent's smart, he's just going to take a 6-card hand here and realize that I can't do anything. Yeah, okay. Good play by my opponent. He might pitch to the Pox token, too. Back to work. Good luck in your games. Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you making a kick account just to follow me, man. That means a lot. Hope work's not too bad for you. I think you've only got... you only got an hour or 2 left. That's not too bad. My opponent chose to pay for the Pox token, which I honestly think is a very intelligent line. Okay. That is literally... That is literally 12 cards without a blue or a yellow. What? Just 2? Okay, that's not bad. With friends that the line was clearly wrong or back value, yeah, we'll redo. So I think, like, what you were trying to say, Ludiful, is that, like, you don't let people undo things after they've been given new information. And if that's what you were saying, then I completely agree with that, because you're making a different decision based off of new information. And that's why I say, like, I give people the right to take things back, like, on a certain level, because I'm like, you know what? Like, if you're just like taking things back, and then, like, if you take things back when there's new information and you play differently, then I think you're a pretty crappy player. Like, that's just not cool, in my opinion. So I'm going to block like this and try to hold out hope that maybe my opponent like doesn't play the Arctic Incarceration. I don't think that's very likely. So now they're going to play the Arctic Incarceration here. These two cards are going to be stuck in my hand. Yeah, and then they're still going to have a 6-card hand. And now I have absolutely no way to do anything because I haven't drawn another blue. Yeah, that's what I meant when new information is given. It's hard to go back to the original state. I 100% agree with you on that. Like that 100% makes sense. It's tough to go back when new information is given because even if people don't want to play like even if people don't try to play like they have new information, a lot of times they will just like subconsciously. And so it's tough. I get that. I completely understand where you're coming from here. I honestly think, again, we're forced to just pass and like try to take our 9-point lead and make it worth here. It's kind of what it feels like right now with the situation, like the state of this game. That we just need, like, I have to hope that like my 9-point lead is like enough for me to keep my advantage going over the course of the game. Why? Where are the blues? That's 14 cards without a blue. One of the things that I like about Flesh and Blood is that you don't have to see variants like this. This also might just be block 9, flip Lexi, throw Endless Arrow, throw Bolt and Shot, and then Arsenal the 3 of a kind here, so that we get to have a. Yeah, sure, man. I do think it's funny that, like, even though I hadn't realized it yet, my opponent refused to let me take something back earlier. My opponent wouldn't let me take something back very early on in the game. Like, this on hit does nothing for them here, so I think I want to save my cards to block something later. I can go to 26 here, and then so the problem that I'm running into here is that I have absolutely no way to have go again with the way that my arsenal's set up. I have seen 0 pumps, and I've seen 0 blues over the last 14 cards because I was hoping to draw a pump to be able to play my Bolt and Shot. Like, it's a card I was willing to take a chance with. 7 go again, huh? I mean, if I block 9 here, I'm giving up some points, but ultimately, like, I'm saving, like, I think because my turn's not really going to be anything spectacular to write home about. Like, so the pumps are Premeditate and Rain Razors. So I'm not guaranteed to see one in the next hand by any stretch of the imagination, but I do feel like we haven't seen one in 14 cards. Like, the downside of not running snaps, yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things that I was concerned about early on. Is it more correct to throw snaps here, or is it more correct to throw snaps, or is it more correct to throw or to use snaps or to use Perch Grapplers? And since I was first to go first here, I made the now we'll just discard our last card. I made the conscious decision to play Perch Grapplers because I was going first, and I felt like those 2 extra points might help me out. Now, to be fair, like, so if I activate Lexi and show Bolt and Shot, then I can throw Endless Arrow and see what they do. They might give me 2 cards here. They might give me a card in Tunic. Let's activate Lexi. And then let's throw the Endless Arrow. Let's see what they do, because if they let this hit and go to 19, it means they're going to throw 2 arrows at me. And then I'll probably just Arsenal the Endless Arrow again, because, I mean, I've got to be coming up on some kind of pump here, I would imagine. Like, it's a little bit of a gamble, but I think it's like it's an educated gamble, if that makes any sense. I think it's 100% correct to do this line. Okay, cool. Like, so it makes me feel better that you guys feel the same way. Because honestly, like, sometimes I question, like, what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. So, like, we can't really block this, even though I really want to. Like, this could be a bluff. They could have nothing. Like, this could be like an Arsenal. Like, I don't know what they would Arsenal here over just throwing at me. I'm honestly debating. So if I take 5 here, I've won and lost mirrors by the other player getting tons of value from the same Endless Arrow. I mean, yeah, like that's definitely like, it's like one of the key ways to win the Lexi mirror. So if I take 5 here, go to 15, and then if they play Codex, I'm in a bad spot. Actually, not that bad of a spot if they play Codex here. So, and if they reload an arrow here, they're missing out on a point from Voltaire, so I think that's perfectly fine. I understand that, like, 3 of a Kind is a card that naturally wants me to block, like, that, like, incentivizes me to block. Okay, so this is for 6, and unfortunately, I can't really block 6 effectively, which is pretty disappointing. So I can go Heat Seeker, Winter's Bite, Codex, just block everything. And then use Tunic to play 3 of a Kind. And then I get to have a 3-card hand, which means a blue and 2 arrows is pretty good for me. I think that's the play here. I don't know if this is correct. Blocking with Codex feels really bad. But I don't really know what the correct decision here, because I know that Codex has is like a value of like 7 to 8 points in this matchup every time you play it, so I don't know if that was wrong or not. So let's go Tunic counter. Three of a Kind. I can Arsenal the Death Touch here. Yeah, this was not a great hand. So we get to do Bolt and Shot, go again. Bolt and Shot. So we get to throw 6 here, basically, and then Arsenal my Death Touch. That doesn't feel great. I feel like our draws have lined up in an extremely awkward way this game. I could throw +1 on the Bolt and Shot. We haven't seen a Frailty Trap yet, but man, Frailty Trap would just be so bad. So, get out of here. God, I hate that this does this. Like, sometimes the new Talishar is worse than the old one was. And I really like the old Talishar. It was like, it wasn't flashy. It wasn't like anything else. It was just Talishar. And I really like that about it, honestly. Cool thing about arsenaling this card is that we pretty much have... Oh, wow. That's really good. So we can block 6 here and go Premeditate. So if we block with Sleep Dart and Frostlock here, we can keep the Withering Shot and go Premeditate into Death Touch. Maybe I'm supposed to keep... Maybe I'm supposed to keep my blue in case they play Arctic and I can still have a turn. I prefer the old one. I know a lot of people who do, honestly, dude. Like, that's like not an uncommon thing that I've heard in the last like few months, is that the old one was better. Like, we prefer the old UI, and I'm like, I hear you. Like, I don't think that's crazy at all. So if this thing has go again in any way, okay. So they're gonna arsenal their last card. Now it is unfortunate because this is for 10, I think. Yeah, I mean that's a big boy. So I'm gonna go to 11. And then I'm basically agreeing to go to 9. So, I don't know. Like, we're down 6 points. And honestly, we had a lot of awkward turns that we kind of, like, had to play through. And I don't really know if there was a way to, like, play around them or do anything differently. So, Premeditate gives us a Ponder, which is pretty great. I guess if we... Or I guess it could give us a Ponder. I'm playing as though this gives us a Ponder. So, I mean, this is for 9 points. And if it hits... Okay, so our opponent just agrees to take this. We're going to give them a Frailty token, because if they have 3 attacks here, then it's worth it. If we draw a crappy blue, we'll pitch to the Pox token here. It should give me the option to, like, rearrange these if I want to. So, Ponder first. No. I mean, 1, I can't, and 2, the Falcon Wing's just better in my hand. I mean... Okay. They have a 3 of a kind here. We might just get... I mean, I guess a 3 of a kind's only so scary. The Frailty was nice enough to make it to where all their cards are only getting +1. So right now, the floor of our turn is block 9 with Bolt and Shot, Fatigue Shot, Endless Arrow, and then flip, activate Lexi, play Codex of Frailty, throw Falcon Wing for 3, and then throw one of our 0-cost cards. So probably looking at an Endless Arrow is probably what we're going to be looking at. If we get into a weird spot where we're forced to block this turn, then we could also... Okay. Interesting that they lead on Codex of Frailty. When you do this, it tells me that your hand is super awkward. If you need it, then you want it. Okay. So this is 5 go again. Okay, so this is actually 4 go again. So we have to do some serious thinking here. Like, this is like some pretty serious soul searching here. So I'm either blocking with 1 card or I'm blocking with 3 cards. Like, those are the only options because anything else kills us. Oh, the Rain Razors. This is for 6. Okay, so the fact that this is for 6 tells me that we're blocking with all 3 cards. I wasn't considering that as... I'd forgotten about the Rain Razors. So we're going to block 6. And then my man's is going to throw the Searing Shot for 5. And I'm going to block 3, take 3, go to 6. And we're going to take the line that I talked about here. Now, my opponent here does get to have a 5-card hand if they so choose. So, like, it's not like we're just, like, blowing them out or anything. Okay, so activate Lexi. We're going to flip Falcon Wing. We're going to play Codex of Frailty. They don't have to discard anything. We are going to pick a 0-coster here. Is Searing Shot my best option? Like, Endless Arrow is good, but I'm already going to have a Ponder token, and if it's a non-attack action, And if I draw 2 arrows, then I can't arsenal one of them. So maybe we're just going with Searing Shot here. Or maybe Endless Arrow just like creates enough value here for us to where it just doesn't matter. I don't know. I kind of like Searing Shot here. So this is also lethal. Or I guess I have a Frailty, so this is for 2. And then this will be for 3. So this isn't for lethal, I suppose. But they also have a Frailty token, which means their turn isn't as scary. So this is for 4, essentially. But they can block it with 1 card. So it's 6/6, and they have a Frailty token. And we're going to have a 5-card hand. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter which order the tokens come in this time around. Yeah, I mean, that's a fine card to arsenal. So Falcon Wing for 2. I honestly think I just take 2 here. There's like 1 Rain Razors left, and they could kill me randomly with Lightning Press, I suppose, but I'd rather block 6. I'm going to block Frostlock and Bolton Shot here. Ooh. That's terrifying. That's actually pretty good for them. And then they can't play Codex or anything now, and there's no longer any pumps we're worried about, so that's kind of nice. Don't have to be afraid to put your dream in action. All right, what's this? I banned a Remorseless. Yeah, sure, dude. I mean, if nothing else, we're gonna throw the Hamstring Shot for 5. Like that's the like the floor of our turn. And I'm honestly surprised that they didn't block with more cards. Am I supposed to go to 1 here? I think I'm supposed to go to 1 here. They have no way to buff this up. They have no way to do anything. Like, they get 1 more attack here, and then that's the end of their turn. They have to pitch a card to load a card here. So I can go Voltaire, go again. Voltaire, go again. Or is it actually better to pitch Searing Shot to go Voltaire, go again, 1 resource left, use my last resource for go again, and then use Tunic to throw 5? I mean, that's not a bad turn, honestly. Like, I mean, we can't fuse it, but it is just, I guess it's less points. I don't know what they would activate on our turn here. I'm going to pitch the Frostlock. We'll keep our Tunic in case something good comes up. So we'll go 2 go again. I mean, this is essentially for 3, so they can give us... They can give us a card here. 3 blocks 3. They'll probably hang on to something else. Yeah, I mean, it's smart that they waited for something else. And then we're going to load Voltaire. We're going to go again, and then they're going to have to block this one. And then they're either going to have to give us 2 cards on the last one, or they're going to have to give us card and New Horizon. Okay, so they decided they're going to give us New Horizon, so they're gonna pitch Winter's Bite to play Art of War here. Okay. Okay. How many Rain Razors are left in our deck? 2? No codexes, but 2 Rain Razors. It's honestly kind of scary in case I have to block. But could also just allow me to end the game at some point. So that's kind of cool. Buff and banish. And then they're going to give me New Horizons here. And then they're going to give me 1 card. Or they're going to give me 2 cards here. They have to give me 2 cards regardless. But I still have my New Horizons to block with. So if they throw like a 1 for 5 at us, we can go... I mean, I guess they can throw 2 cards at us technically and go to 2 here. But it's going to cost them 1 more to play their first card. So as long as they accounted for that, they're okay. I don't know. There's a few things that like could come up here. Like this has been a pretty good game. I feel like had I drawn normal hands for a while, I feel like I would have won this game already. But I feel like we had like those like 2 to 3 hands in a row there that were a little awkward. I don't... Oh, they had to wait for the chain to break with New Horizon. I see what happened. I was curious to know what happened there. I mean, the fact that they had to pitch both their cards to play their arrow because of Hamstring Shot is pretty cool. Like, I think that wins us the game, honestly. Yeah, I think that's going to win us the game. So what I'm going to do is load Endless Arrow with Go Again and see what they do here. They have to give us... I mean, they can only give us 1 card if they want, but... Yeah, so they give us 2 cards, and then they're going to give us their last 2 cards here on the Sleep Dart, and we're going to hold the Endless Arrow, or we're not going to get it back. Never mind. Never mind. Going crazy. And then we're going to go +1. And then we're basically just waiting on a Rain Razors here to end the game. Or for them to have enough 2 blocks either way. So this would make this for 8 or for 9 if I gave it +1. So doing this for play Premeditate, Heat Seeker for +1, pitching the Frostlock, and then if it hits, like if they block with 2 3s and a 2 and go to 1, and then I get to like have a face-up card and a Premeditate. So the Premeditate makes my hand automatically playable no matter what I hit off the top here. So I mean that's fine. I think this is a good hand. I just got tempo at the end of the game, and unless like they fatigue me here, we're gonna win. So they have no equipment left, like so they can't like use Tunic to load a 0 for 4 randomly or some shenanigans like that. So there's no world where there's no world where they're just like if they have a Lightning Surge, I suppose they could do that if they wanted to. Play Premeditate, pitch Bolton Shot for... We're gonna pitch Bolton Shot, load Bolton Shot for +1, and then come in with a Bolton Shot here. So this is gonna be for 8, and I'm just gonna use the Rain Razors to push this over the top here. Take 3. So I ended up winning the game, and honestly, I didn't really know if I was gonna win. Like going first in the aggro mirror is not good in Flesh and Blood. You definitely want to be going second, especially when you're playing Lexi and you can have a 6-card hand going second. So I'm sure I made some mistakes along the way, and if you guys catch any of those, please shout them out in the comments. I'd love to hear about different play lines or things I could have done differently. I was very lucky to have some people in chat helping me out with some of the play lines when I was playing Lexi during this game, so it really helped me out and helped me put some of the lines together. But just Lexi has a lot of very on-rate, powerful, and even some above-rate cards that just make her very strong and very, very good. Like Rain Razors and 3 of a Kind is extremely broken. Codex of Frailty is an above-rate card. Just, all the things that you're used to hearing. But Lexi feels very good, and I was pretty happy to win that game. I'm looking forward to playing a lot more Lexi to test for Nationals. If you guys missed anything, if there's any lines or questions you got, throw them in the comments down below. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.